Hello everyone and welcome to Minecraft. Where's the door? Where is the... Okay, that's not the door. Hello everyone and welcome to Minecraft Hardcore Mesa Edition, Episode 6. Last episode, we went and built this lumberyard right here. We can see we've got some wood laid out here, and as you just saw, I've got some different workstations inside. And now we do have these two different buildings to build up our town, as well as the farms and drill and tree and all that stuff. But all of this area here is still feeling quite empty and also dark, and a risk of monsters coming and killing me. So I should probably sleep. But that is the plan for this episode, is to just add in a whole bunch of buildings along this path to fill out the town a little bit more. So let's start out by just grabbing some wood and marking out where our different building plots are going to be. Maybe have the path come along this way a bit more as well, so we can have a little building like here. So if we have this path split off, so it kind of goes around to the farms, but then also kind of heads up this way, so it's kind of a straight line-ish path for this area. And we've got a few different buildings. I think that should work. Yeah, let's just go and make this path that the different buildings will come off of. And there we go, we now have a simple road to connect this area up to the rest. We might want to take some fence gates and block off part of this area here, so it feels a bit more like the definitive end of the road. And now we've got that, we just need to make the buildings. That's all we got to do. No tool ask, right? I mean, we made 2 buildings in like 5 episodes. What's to stop us from doing, what is this, 5 more? 5 more in 1 episode? That doesn't sound too hard, right? Right? Okay, so now it's time to tackle the first building, which will be this one right here. It's quite a long one, to be honest, I've made here. Quite long and not very deep. I might actually make it a bit deeper on the, like this side here. Have it be a bit deeper and just ignore this hole in the ground here. But this here is going to be the saloon of our little frontier town here. Overhang like so. Step up to it. I'm starting to see the vision. I think that looks good from the inside, can't we? Obviously need some work, adding some windows and stuff like that. Vehicle right there would be good. This is our little counter. Seating. Here. Seating. Add in a few barrels right here. And then back here I'll probably add a shelving unit, which I'll probably end up placing some brewing stands on. But for now I'll just leave empty. That can be where you have some brewing stands and that fun stuff to kind of suggest that we're serving drinks. So that is the first building of this episode complete. We have a little rustic, very basic build, but it just adds to the area. A little saloon. I still kind of wish I had like loads of oak, dark oak, and I would add strips of the shelves along there, but I don't have that. I could go looking for it, but it's very rare it seems, and I just can't be bothered. I need to actually get this episode out. So that's gonna do it for this. I do like the little large sign details, and it just kind of feels like a kind of old western where we're gonna get into a bar fight in here. I reckon if there was anyone here to get into a bar fight with, this is a single player world after all. That could be very bad because it's hardcore, so a bar fight would mean goodbye series. So maybe it's a good thing that we're not going to get into a bar fight in this saloon. Okay, now that the saloon is done, I think we're going to move straight onto this building right here, which I'm actually going to like tear down because I think what I want to actually put here is not going to be made out of wood. It's going to be made out of deep slate, specifically I think deep slate bricks. And this is going to be some form of old western jail type building, because I don't want to make them all out of wood because they'll become very samey very quickly. So we're going to build this out of deep slate brick. Obviously we're going to want to have the cells going like do something like that. So we have one door here, one there, and one here. That might work. We could almost cut this in a bit like this to add a bit more variety to the build. Well, there's no way to like link these up nicely, which is a shame. So I might just end up just using straight bars and pretending there's a way into these cells, but not actually building a way in because otherwise it'll just look bad. Let's break these open. Add in a cauldron with water in it. And a bed. Okay, so now next to the saloon we have the jail, looking pretty good, with cells for 4 people if they're misbehaving in here, which then leads the door into this area, which should probably bar off like so. Because this right here is going to be the sheriff's office, and I'm going to have it come out a little bit this way. Have your side door here. Now I want to use oak logs here as supports for the sheriff's office, and then here we can also use logs in an alternating pattern to create a nice oak flooring. There we go. Got the floor. You probably want to do the stairs for next. Let's make the stairs. Is there a way to like make them our trapdoors so it's a bit rickety almost? Yeah, I like that. There's like just something a bit different if we do the stairs like that, and we can even use dark oak. There we go. And so now we've got a little balcony out here as well, where we can have some stuff. I'm not entirely sure what this area is. It's a weird space, if I'm being entirely honest. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. This could be storage down here under the stairs. We have a desk set up here. Ooh. Got some guardrails in. Yeah, you got this little slightly cozy upstairs area now where they've got their bed and their painting for the sheriff. And down here you got the sheriff's desk and some storage. I probably want some more decorations and details in here now. But that's the main shape of the sheriff's house. I'm not gonna lie, these aren't my best builds. I don't think I put a lot more time into Quartermaster's house, but that was because that was one building per episode, and I'm trying to do 5. And I'm just trying to get the feel of the place here. There definitely could be a lot of improvements here, but I don't have the time to make these all as lovely unless we want this to be like a 50-part series. There's some details of like shelves and some stripped logs. Windows might help as well. And there we go. I think that will just about do for the little sheriff's house next door. It is a bit odd, I will say, but I do overall say I would say I like the general vibe in here. I do like this stair design. This is a cool little. I never have seen something like this before. I've probably seen it somewhere, but I do like it. So now, we have the saloon, we have the jail, along with the sheriff's office, where they also have a place to sleep. Where's everyone else going to sleep? So far, only the sheriff and the prisoners have sleeping quarters, and the quartermaster, me. That's what I think we'll do here. I might actually merge these two buildings here into one large dormitory, where all the townsfolk sleep, because it's still quite a small town, and I know I can't be able to build like 50 houses for everyone who lives here. So I reckon we do this last building for today as a time lapse. So let's go and hit it. And there we have it, the fourth, I made four because I merged this. The fourth building of today, a little dormitory. If we go inside, we see we've got bunk beds laid out as chests and lanterns. I tried to give it a kind of upwards curve, a bit of a different design to what I'm used to, but I think it worked out rather well. And we can see from the outside, it kind of follows the curve of the path and the terrain and just goes around. It looks fairly similar for most directions. There's a thing missing there we go. But overall, I'd say I'm fairly happy with how this little street's turned out. It's certainly not perfect. Honestly, this was a bit of a rushed episode when it comes to how long I had to actually build these things. So they could definitely do with some refinement and some improvements overall. But I'd still say I'm pretty happy with how this view looks, walking down with different buildings that make logical sense to have in a frontier style town like this. And if we have a look from over the hill here, the town looks much more complete now that we have a few more buildings right there to kind of flesh it out a bit. Something's missing there. We'll probably do that next episode. One part that is annoying me though is right here. This is too big of a blank canvas, so I want to do something about that. There you go. Now we just have a little notice board here to show important messages like this, for instance. I wonder what this could mean. Anyway, that is going to do it for today's episode. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, please leave a like on the video. It really does help out and it's encouraging to see as well. So, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next episode where, I wonder what could happen. Where maybe something's gonna happen. Maybe something to do with a strange portal that someone didn't get out of last time. Maybe last series. Does that ring any bells? Who knows? All I know is you're not going to want to miss it, so be sure to subscribe to see when that video comes out. Bye everyone!